Okay, so I'm gonna do a video about how to make music like me because I have nothing else to do with my time. And today I'm going to be doing a remix of one of my favorite One Old Tricks Point Never songs, Sleep Dealer, and because it's just a cool song. So I insert the samples first of all into like the sampler of the DAW. And I already did the samples inserted, so this is how it sounded. Yes, I get it already. And I will make the first bass, and first of all, I recommend making the bass full patterns of the original samples just so it feels more comfortable, to understand at what BPM, what tempo it is, and how it works and everything. And you can add different samples as well. So I added the samples here, like here they are. Hold on a second. Now the first Sleep Dealer sample is in 3/4 measures, and I am using a 4/4 measure, so I can't really turn one pattern 3/4 while the entire song is 4/4. So I decided to make a compromise by adding a tiny little, note repeat at the end, so it is now 4/4 like this. So that's how I make it 4/4, and this is the second sample. Hold on a second. Okay, back at it. So I made the bass samples and for everything, and then I make first of all the patterns for each VST individually, and then do the pattern, the arrangement, the sequencing, and everything. Sometimes I mix up my words when I'm recording. I'm kind of nervous, to be honest. And this is how I do, like, for example, this pattern. Hold on a second. So I put out this, and then I press this, and then yeah, it does this. Hold on. Yeah, cool pattern and everything, right? And then I do the other pattern with this, this another sequence. Yeah, also another cool pattern. I'm gonna be leaving the best for the last, so you better understand as to what is going on. And then there's more. I do like doing more complex patterns with the samples, where it's just all mixing up in like a cauldron or something like that, and it's making a cool beat, cool rhythm, noise, and everything, like this one, or this, for example. Yeah, so you get the gist already. Make the patterns for every the virtual instrument individually, and then do the sequencing after. So like you make the base level for all the music stuff, and after that you can just make the sequence and already know what you're doing. And so in this vocoder, I didn't put any. I wouldn't call it vocoder. No, I mixed up it sometimes. This sampler, I uh, I added no delay, although I love always adding delays, like a signature sound of mine already. But in this one, I didn't add any delay because it would make the ping pong delay doesn't fit in this, pattern of random mixtures of randoms of different samples at once. But this I added patterns. This one I added delay for it to, sound cool, like this. Oh, hold on, let me find it. Like this. This is like the ambient track, the ambient sort of, where it's the backing track, which gives the noise, which swirls around your head and gives it, a cooler sound overall. It makes it more, immersive, so to say. And I don't even know if the quality of the microphone is even good enough to comprehend all this, audio. But it is what it is at the end of the day, you know. This is another pattern I made in the sampler with the delay on, and I usually do either maximum delay or zero delay because I feel like half delay or 25% delay doesn't sound all that fitting in my style of music overall. Like look at it, and for example, this one has a different sound. It goes 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and usually I do different time spans, sort of, with different time span delays with different samples because I feel like if I used one ping pong left right type of tempo with the all modules, then that would sound kind of either bland or weird, like odd mixing or something like that. So I do different different delay times for different samples, and it usually sounds better that way, and at least in my opinion. 3 4 1 2 3 4. You notice how if you like do the repeating noise, it sounds like how do I call this? A high pitch, and there is also a ping pong delay which makes it like go left right, and it makes it sound cool. Obviously, it's all about the sound design. My most important focus in music is not only the vibe, the mood of the music, but the sound design of it as well. Like if I put in the right sound design, will it sound bland or will it sound, interesting and encapsulating? Because I feel like sound design is one of the most important factors of any kind of music at all. There can be a song that has the best groove, best mixing, best mastering, but if the sound design is weird and the mood is weird, then obviously I'm not gonna like it and give it like, I don't know, 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10, something like that. And I find it a very important factor overall, so that's just my opinion. You can take it with a grain of salt for all I care. Then there's this other sample, which I usually put in a type of 16 notes sampler, which it does different notes. For example, like this. Yeah, you get it basically. And sometimes when you do chords with these kind of samples, if they like go fully, if you go full length, I need to swallow more often. If you go full length with some samples, but do them in a chord, even if the the duration of the samples are different and the pitch is different due to the speed change and everything, you can still sound good or at least odd, but in a good way. And it sometimes works for me as well because I use it often as well. So this I also did different sounds, different speeds and everything, and this is how it turned out. And I think it's a nice pattern, but overall I don't think it fits in the song. I just think it's like, oh, this sounds cool, but I don't think it fits like Sleep Dealer. Does this sound Sleep Dealer or One O Tricks Point Never at all? Maybe slightly Real Bright Nights, but completely not fitting to a One O Tricks Point Never remix, in my opinion at least. And then I use this other sample that I just did like testing. I will still keep it in because why not? And then there is this other sample, the other, which has high pitch, high speed samples. Sometimes I like to speed up samples a lot, but still at the right, uh, speed, like 50% or 100% for it to be, fitting to the tempo and the overall, tone of the song. Because if I may use a sample that uses, let's say, A minor as the note, and then I just speed it up to, let's say, C major, then it will not be fitting into the track at all. And that's why I just put it at like A minor, 4. If the original sample is A minor 3, I put a A minor 4, A minor 5, because if it's sped up, it sounds cooler, and it can be used as like a little sound bit that would make it, the overall music sound cooler, in my opinion. So let me make a sample right now. I have an idea. I have a good idea. No, no. Okay, that's good enough. I'm not going to be using it in the original remix, but, still a good pattern. Um, then we have this other one, which I play the full sample. In this sample, I play the full sample, but layer it on top of one another, so that it sounds like a chaotic mess. But at the same time, it sounds in order. It sounds chaotic, but at the same time, it sounds, you know, passive, immersive, like it's pulling you into the music, sort of. I don't know. I'm just saying whatever just to sound cool, if that's the thing. I mean, I like saying words at the end of the day. What's the big problem with that? So I layer the samples on top of one another so that it sounds cooler than just with one layer of a sample, like this. And when you layer the sample on top of another in the correct, pattern, it can make like a double, maybe triple, quadruple, whatever time saying of a sample. Like you heard how in this pattern it's like da 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 da, like this. Da, 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 da. You get what I'm saying, right? And then there's more complicated. There's more like building up. There's one that is simple, and then there's one that is more of a build up. It like repeats and repeats and repeats until it like boom explodes or something like that. For this one, this is the build up type of pattern I make. It layers. It has layers. It has some form of sequence to it because it is obviously sequence and quantized. But you still get what I'm saying because it just layers on top of one each other and it sounds cool. Most of the explanations I have towards this kind of patterns and everything is that it just sounds cool, so why not use it? Also, I have 1% battery. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with the video. I just had to charge my phone, and then there are again different samples, cool sounds. You already get the point what I'm talking about. For example, listen to this. This is the different pitch, but it fits into the chord. It fits into the what's it called, the note scale or something like that. So it makes a good noise. It makes a good pattern, and it layers on top of one each other perfectly. And this is practically all of the virtual instrument. What's it called, patterns. It's only like 5. It's all samples, by the way. There is no other VST, other samples, something like that. It's just uh, the main sleep dealer samples. That's all that's needed at the end of the day. So I'll make a pattern I'll make the sequence of the music as I go, and make it sound plausible. So why not do that? Just gotta do this stuff like some mixing. Okay. starting off with the intro pretty slow, pretty chill, you know? It gotta be like a chill start, then it goes upwards, you know? That's the best tactic I use personally. It's pretty, it's like 1 a.m. here, so I can't be really loud. Most of the time I just copy paste. It's the easiest method. And then you do this. You notice how the width of that part, where there's like double of the same sample, because one sample is like in one direction. You know, it's like in one direction and it has no delay. But the second VST that has the same sample is in stereo and it's widespread. The width is maxed and it so like creates this where there's one here, there's one in both ears, and then it just mixes into one, and the delay makes it sound more, you know, mixed together. And when they're mished and when they're, you know, mishmashed, these kind of samples together with the kind of sound audio settings, then they sound more, you know, how do I say this, I don't know the word for this, but more so like um you know, different, like the sounds more, you know, widespread, dive, like it's, I don't know, immersive or something like that. I'm not good overall with picking terms proper for the kind of effects I make, so I just take whatever is on my mind and spit it out. I like saying random things, it makes me happy. See, this is the ambient backing track I was talking about. Listen. See? And the other thing I like doing is like making different samples, different patterns in different samplers that have the same sample, but when they're used together with, as I said before, different audio settings, then they sound cool and they fit in together like a puzzle piece, and that gives it more, you know, uniqueness to the music itself, because it's like there's one side this way, another side this way, but they fit in together, and that makes it sound, you know, I don't know, satisfying. I think I call it satisfying, to be honest. And I just copy paste everything, and then let's just skip the repetitive parts because I know you're not here for this. Uh, just gonna do this. Okay. I'm gonna change up a bit, few things, just so it sounds, you know, worse. Uh, aha. And then we get to this part. Listen to this part. This one's cool, good one. I like it. It's like a sort of interlude that is used, that I like using sometimes because it makes the sound more, you know, I don't know how to say, funky, groovy or something like that. Like sometimes there be like these jazz songs where there's like this one rhythm going on for a while, and then there's like yeah, I mean, if you know what I mean, I hope you know at least what I mean by when I say all this stuff. But there's like sometimes an interlude which makes it sound more, you know, non-repetitive and makes it more interesting to sound like, oh, this happened, this is happening, that's cool, you know. At least it's some form of reaction at the end of the day, and then I add more on top of it. This is why I said where I don't like extremely repetitive music that just adds nothing to the music for like a very long time. If I make a song with very repetitive melodies or samples, I would at least want to add something new to it every 4 bars, 8 bars, or something close to that range. so that at least the listener doesn't just sit in this pose and fall asleep and get bored. It's just I don't want to get bored when I listen to music. I know I have the heart to like, but the problem is it's just too repetitive or too bland. That's the thing. That's why I don't want to make my feel like my music is bland or too vanilla. I don't even like vanilla music that much unless it's some exceptions, but I don't know exactly which music I would call exceptional to being vanilla and me liking it. But that's beside the point. Whatever. Just listen to the music. So you add on top of it, and you add more and more and more, and then it becomes more, chaotic, but in a good way, obviously. And then after you do the build up of that whole interlude, you get to the good part. The good part is like where the most groovy and fitting samples go together to make something awesome. Like this, when you mix all the virtual instruments and samples together, and it creates a specific art form, like an artwork, a painting that just generates by itself and immerses you deeper into the rabbit hole. It's like that's what I'm target mainly with this kind of remixes. Sometimes like this, and I repeat it because I know it gives like that dopamine, that serotonin to the listener. That's why I repeat it to like 8 bars or maybe even 16 bars if it's good enough. I like snapping my fingers though, that's also fun. But sometimes you should do slight tweaks to the pattern so that it like does a little bit change like oh this happened, like that kind of reaction. And then it just does the groovy point where it just repeats that It makes you wanna move your head and everything. Oh my gosh, okay. I forgot. Sometimes I like to do choppings of samples so that they in a form of way that they don't but like they go mute for a few seconds and then they repeat and it makes like this off on and off switch that just moves in a rhythmic way that makes it sound cool. For example, like this pattern here. You get me? So like da dun dun da da dun da instead of like ha da, it's like ha da da ha da da ha da da. Mute for like a second, 2 seconds maybe if it is good enough, and then just on off, on off, on off, on off, on off, on off, on off. In a groovy way, rhythmic. You need because rhythm is good. It's very good in electronic music, especially if you're using samples. So that's why it's good to like do this on and off switch kind of tactic, and it makes it again. I say this for like the fifth time. It just makes it sound cooler. That's the main point. It just makes the music sound cooler. What else do you want me to say? And so, like, for example, I can let you listen to this for 4 bars, and so that you feel happy. Listen to this. And now I add the ambient backtrack again. It does this kind of stuff. It just makes it more growling when, like, you're in the forest or something. And then you add the other mix in it while it does the first pattern, which again hits in like a puzzle piece and makes it sound cooler, makes it sound immersive. The immersion is one of the most important factors I see in me making my own music. you know. But you have to be inside the music, feel the music inside your brain. You get me? I hope you do. Two, one, two, one, two. I also like doing this kind of beat too, where it's like not a specific rhythm, but just a simple 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4. You know, it's like keep it simple. Just keep it simple from time to time, and so like groove to it. And I like it. Really, actually love it. If there would be like any kind of person that that takes those repetitive patterns that I make in my music and adds their own style, whatever they do, whatever they like to do to that those patterns, and make it their own kind of style, so that they feel better. It's different. Like if people ask me, what if at any point in my life people ask me how can I make music like you? How can I make music like this? I just reply, don't make music like me. If you like my music, but you want to make add your, then if you don't make music like me, make music however you like it to be made. If you feel as if you're listening to any of my music and you feel like it's missing something, add that something into the song yourself. Do it yourself, basically. If like adding your own stuff, and you even show it to me at some point, a remix of my own music, I'd be so honored. I'd be extremely honored. It's just a good feeling overall. I don't get why people do copyright stuff, or just just I don't know, how do I say this, like be really protective of their music and just ruin copyright and make people absolutely do everything, make your people do absolutely everything just so you can get as much money as possible. I don't care about money or fame in my music. I just like making music because I like making music. It's that simple. So let's go back. I talk too much, don't I? Whatever. Let's go back. I'm gonna put in some good sample, good pattern mix. There can be good pattern mixes and there can be bad pattern mixes. As in, if there is different patterns, there's pattern one, pattern two, pattern three, pattern four, and there's just this. Like if let's say pattern A1, B2, C4, they mix together and they make a fitting wave, like it so flows like a wave in the music in the mix, then that's a good pattern mix. But if there's like A6 B2 C1 and it flows like, I don't know, just different directions, it does all this shit, then it's just it's a bad pattern mix. It's odd. You don't want to feel like, I don't know how do I say this. You don't want to feel like cringe or disturbed or just, I don't know, odd, I guess, disgust face when you're listening to music, because like, what even is this pattern mix? What is this stupid shit? You don't want that emotion, obviously. Nobody does. And that's why I want to like make sure and calculate the most proper and best pattern mixes I can think of, at least with this brain I have right now. So this says I feel is a good pattern mix 2 3 3, because I feel like it fits together perfectly. It fits together properly. You tell me if you want to listen. There is like one of this what do you call it? There's this one pattern that isn't in the proper tempo of the the music, the song, but it can still sound good, because even if it like cuts off at some point, it will, at least somewhat fit into the music, because as I've said, it is all in one chord, which makes it sound better. Music theory, basically, that I may just accidentally learn by myself, I guess. I don't know. I like being self-taught. It's way better than YouTube tutorials, to be honest. So let's skip the, again, repetitive patterns, because that would be just me wasting your time. And let's listen to this pattern again with another pattern mix that I feel is good. So how do I say this? I added again two double patterns in the same, two patterns, same space, same connection, and when they fit together, it makes like this tiny, not sometimes not tiny, but even an accidental chorus effect that even you don't even need a chorus pedal or effects to put into the mix for it to sound like a chorus, but it can sometimes sound like a chorus. When it does accidental, I feel like it sounds even better than without just putting the mix there. Yeah, you get me right. So like this is like how do I? Come on, it's bugging. You just you hear that? You know that kind of stuff. I look like a furry doing this type of gesture. I'm not a furry, by the way. Um, and then my nose is running. My bad. Uh, then I again repetitive voice, and then you add another chord for it to sound cool. Again, another good pattern mix. And it's another good pattern mix which makes you sound groovy. It makes you want to bop your head and make you feel like, oh yeah, this is some good shit. This is some good shit right here, you know? It just, you hear that? You know? This is what I was talking about. Ta 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 ta, you know? Remember like a shit. Then I like doing this type of what's it called? There's like a chill, like a stop, breathe in, and then breathe out, and then calm down, and listen to this, chill interlude. Again, I like putting interludes into my music to be like, hey, calm down, just breathe in, breathe out, and then continue listening to music as everyone else. You need like a breather. Like you can't just constantly move around, bop your head, have fun, because otherwise that will give you a headache, or just waste too much of your energy. So I like doing like a chill moment, as in this, like a stop. Embrace, that breathing and the swirling around your hand. Then again, like a slow build up and like a staircase pattern. This, then this, and this, and this, it just goes up. And then there's another sound pattern which makes it sound even cooler. You know? It's all combined together and sounding more and more, building up, so that you just boom. You can hear me. I add until it's completely full, and just let it flow. You just let it flow. By the way, if you're thinking, how do I make, the patterns this fast? I already made this remix like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. I made this a week ago, so that's how I show you how everything works and so on. So if you think this is a new song, a completely original new song, as I make on the spot, that's wrong. You're wrong, you dummy. But if you want me to make like a tutorial on while I make a new song on the spot while recording the video, I can do that if you just tell me if you think that's a good enough idea. I don't know for sure, okay? I like hearing suggestions from people, who want to give suggestions in the first place. So again, as always, let's skip the repetitive patterns because you might like it in the music, but in the video, I will just be wasting your time with these. So again, back to the, one side gone, other side's going. So it's like a break, like, look at this. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And then it's like build up. And then at the height, everything goes to calm again and it's back to normal. I like doing this, like calm, like, and done. Now calm down and everything is alright. And done. That is how you make a Real Bright Nights remix. If you even understood most, at least somewhat, whatever I said at all. I really hope you enjoyed this. Otherwise, I don't know if you even enjoyed my yapping sessions or something like that. But if you did, I'm happy. I'm happy about that. Um, if you want me to make like a completely new original song on the spot, you could just tell me about it, in the comments, or if I know you on Discord, you can tell me that on Discord. But overall, I had fun doing this, talking to you and telling you everything. Hope you have a good day, afternoon, night, evening, whatever time it is at your place. Bye bye.